Now we are on live, on air.
Okay. No pressure.
Now, we're not naturally this nice and bubbly. We're just happy the technology works, folks.
Been trying for an hour and a half, I think, in total, isn't it?
Yeah.
Or nearly an hour and a half.
But not that we're incompetent or anything. We don't want to let people think that that's normal for us.
Oh.
Right, so this is 4 questions by the Victor Galenko for typing Laura. And the first question is, he would like you to tell us about your work or study.
Oh, okay. I work as a peer recovery worker, which means I'm like a support worker for people who are mentally ill in the community and want to get back into the community and gain social skills and stuff after losing confidence from being in a psychiatric hospital or genuinely just being quite isolated in their own home and only ever seeing like a community nurse come out to them. It's called peer recovery worker as opposed to just recovery worker because part of the job description is that you yourself have had experience of mental illness and you're providing peer-to-peer support. So like I'll tell the people I work with, I've been in your situation before, I used to be a patient, I used to take medication and I understand what it's like to be anxious and stuff like that, which suits me down to the ground because I often go on my experiences when dealing with things. I'm very shaped by my experiences and I feel that I have a lot of skills to give in terms of experience. I mean, I'm not a qualified psychiatrist or nurse or anything, but it's nice that I'm in a job where my personal experience and life experience is valued. If that's enough. I don't know whether I rambled a bit there.
No, that's okay.
Okay.
If you expand a bit on it, say what you like about it.
Okay.
That sort of thing.
I'm sorry, I didn't want to like be boring or anything, but
no, that's fine.
I like that it's very hands-on. I get a lot of patient contact. There's quite a bit of paperwork, but like compared to a lot of jobs in the care industry, I have a lot of patient contact. I'd say 80% talking to people and working with people, and maybe 20% paperwork, which I prefer. I like that I'm on their level. I mean, I'm still like a professional, but I'm not like a doctor dishing out meds or anything like that. I feel like, I don't know, it's a very social oriented job, which I like. So I like to talk to people. I like being in a supportive role where I can help people. I like seeing people get better as well, because our company is absolutely petrified of going outside or petrified of meeting people, and then like eventually they won't need me anymore, and it's nice to see that they're independent again. Yeah, I'm probably going to repeat myself if I
Okay. Yeah. If we go to, and the next question from Victor is, he would like you to tell us about your hobbies.
Oh, okay. Oh, I don't like this question because I sound really boring. I'm not the type of person that has a lot of hobbies because...
Or things you're interested in.
I like to just like be lazy, not do anything. My favourite thing to do is nothing. I used to have a lot of hobbies. I used to like be really into art, but with that, we become too competitive. Like you get a lot of snobby people who want to just criticise for the sake of it, and I think a hobby should be fun and you should do it because you like it, not because it's like a chore. and something like I kept starting to feel like, oh, I've got to be really careful I don't mess up, and like I stopped enjoying painting and drawing because I was worried about what other people would think of it. Things I'm interested in though. I quite like interior design because I've recently moved into my own place, and I found I really love doing stuff like that, making use of space in a room and like using different colours and yeah, stuff like that. Cooking, I like cooking, but I don't have enough money to go out and get. I like to be able to cook a lot of things from scratch, but it's too much money to do that, so I'm gonna have to like get stuff that's already made and just shove it in the oven or something. But I like doing that. I like cooking for people as well. I like it when my family come over and I get to cook for them. Although I'm quite shy and sometimes I'm a bit scared to go out and socialise, I like doing it. It's really weird. I'm scared of people, but I want to talk to them at the same time. And when I've been out and just like, go and socialise with people, I just feel a lot better afterwards. After like connecting with people, I suppose. Yeah, I think that's it.
I can add a little bit of my own question here in terms of hobbies.
Oh, that's okay.
What I think, because I think there's a match between type and the type of humour they like. What type of humour do you like, and which type of humour do you not like?
I like humour that's just really stupid. Because I'm quite stupid. I like just saying sometimes it doesn't even have to make any sense. The fact it doesn't make any sense makes it funny for me sometimes. Just silly stuff that's a bit off the wall.
So, do you like Vic and Bob? Vic Reeves and Bob Mortimer. Oh well, we can't do. We could do a share screen, but we'd get taken down off YouTube. But you might love Vic and Bob. Oh, I mean, they used to be. I mean, talk about abstract. I mean, when it first started in the early '90s, he loves the spirit level, but he doesn't like the chives. What's on the end of the stick, Vic? Really weird stuff.
I was born in the early '90s, so I probably missed that.
Right, so
Sorry.
We'll get back to Victor's questions in a moment, but say if it's humour, someone like Frankie Boyle, where he's very aggressive and he famously made jokes about Jordan and her children, but any kind of humour like that, I mean, does he have to be humour that doesn't have any targets, that isn't mean?
Well, if it's
Or do you mind?
like I love watching The Last Leg, and they sometimes really like make fun of people who are on that, or like never mind the Buzzcocks. They made fun of when Simon Amstel was on it. They made fun of the guests. But if it's mutual and they're all right with it, okay, I don't mind so much. But for someone like Frankie Boyle, it goes too far. And it's not funny if the other person isn't finding it funny. That's just a bit sadistic to me.
Chris Rock had a theory as part of one of his routines that it's the level of the person that you're poking fun at. So, for instance, you can poke fun at tall people, but not short people. Anyone who's in a higher position than you, figuratively or literally, you can poke fun at, because he said the other way round, that's just mean.
It is. Yeah, I agree with you.
And so that part of the humour, because for me, I'm like that. I don't like mean humour, and I don't like The Office because I don't like humour of humiliation. I always want to empathise with the characters. But then again, this is not my type of video.
Stop taking over.
Right. get back now. Victor's question is number 3 is, I won't read out English. Right. He wants to know what are, and I have seen your video with Jack. So, what are your strengths?
Oh, I don't know. This is so hard. My strength. I don't even remember what I said in that video.
I think you said you're good at being nice.
Yeah, I was going to say I'm nice, but that's rubbish, isn't it? I am nice. But everyone says they're nice. Everyone wants to think they're nice. I think with me, I'm nice to everyone. You know, like some people say they're nice, but they're only kind to certain people they like.
Yeah.
It's very selective kindness. I try to be nice to everyone, even people who I don't like.
That's a trait, that is. That's an FE trait.
Yeah.
I heard the same from Melina in her video with Jack.
But I don't like cliquish behaviour. It bothers me if everyone's not included. So I'm always really nice to like new people, or people who are having a hard time getting into the group. You know, like you see people who really want to talk, but they find it hard. Or they're quite shy, or they aren't good socially. I try and always really help them. Whereas I think some people probably wouldn't take the time to do it and just think, you know, just like judge them or something.
But at the same time, do you have standards of how you expect the other person to behave?
Yeah, I overlook a lot of things if I think they didn't mean it. But the only thing that really bothers me is if everybody's happy and someone comes in and purposely tries to upset everyone just for the sake of it. Like, I know someone where we all go out and we're all fine, and she's just the sulkiest person. And if you go to her, "You alright?" "Yes, I'm fine." And it's like, but you're saying you're fine, but your face looks like a slapped ass.
Yeah.
So obviously you're not fine. And like, she purposely ruins it, and I don't know why. And it's like, if you're in a bad mood, that's okay, but either talk about it or don't bring it here.
It's
That's what I don't like.
And that's a real mental note. Don't invite this person again situation.
It makes me uncomfortable sometimes about the people and everything, and sort of ruin the mood. And it'll be like, I feel really bad, and like, I'll take it quite personally, like, I shouldn't have bothered coming, or I've done something wrong.
Did you want to give her bus fare home?
Huh?
Did you want to give her bus fare home?
Yeah. It was really like, it made me feel bad because it was like making the group fragmented, because some people would go to her and like we were all together, and then like she starts and it separates people. I'm like, oh God, just put your face straight, just be nice. But I think that's the only thing really, if someone's like outright horrible or trying to ruin it, trying to ruin a good time on purpose.
Well, so far I think you've classical FE.
Okay.
So if we go to and here's Victor's toughest question. Name your weaknesses?
I can't say no. I find it quite difficult. If I do say no, I say it in a roundabout way, like in a very tactful, diplomatic way that's kind of indirectly saying I don't want to do it. I say yes to a lot of things. I kind of do this to please other people. I'm not assertive with myself. I can stand up for the people pretty well.
I hope there's not any con men watching this.
I'll just say yes and that's it. But like, I have been taken advantage of really badly in the past because I just say yes and I don't really stand up for myself and say you can't talk to me like that, or unless somebody's really in my space and then I'm forced to get angry. Normally I just don't do it if I don't need to have a confrontation alone. I put myself down a lot and downplay a lot of things, even if I'm good at something. If I get attention for being good at something, I feel I don't enjoy it. I like that someone's noticed, but if everyone else is around, I feel really bad that I've got attention for it. Whereas most people would just say that they did something well or that they're having recognition. It makes me think that because I'm being set apart from everyone else, they might not like me. You know, like in school, if you were really smart, other people didn't like you. It's like that. That's the only thing I can compare it to.
It was weird because when I was at school, there were those who would be the boffs. I don't know if you had the word boffins or boffs.
It was Keno when I was at school.
What were they called?
Keno.
Cleano.
Yeah, or Keen Bean. I don't know why. It's really stupid.
But yeah, I actually do remember some kids wanting to get an average score. But
it's always easier when you do.
I remember one ESFJ actually saying that she pretended to be dumb because she didn't want to be bashed.
Yeah. Well, I was really good at art, and a lot of people come to art to mess about, but I was really good at it and I enjoyed it. And the teacher once brought in a professional artist and asked me to present my works in front of the class. And I felt the distance between me and other people just go like that. Like, if you understand what I mean? Like, certain people didn't like that I was chosen. They're making a big deal with she wanted me to take art to the next level and stuff like that, and like she should have to study a degree level and stuff, and not making a big fuss of me from everyone. And I felt like the odd one out. So I don't know if that makes any sense.
How bad were people's skills? I mean, you should be able to pick up that you're an introvert, and maybe you don't want to.
Well, I think she was trying to bring me out of my shell, and like she kept saying the only thing that holds you back is your confidence. If you were confident, you would that would solve a lot of my problems. I used to hold myself back or not do things that I was capable of because I didn't really understand whether I was capable of things or not. I just assumed I wasn't. And she was always saying I should be more confident. I think she was trying to help me, but I wanted to say to her, you don't understand. It's going to like create a bit of tension between me and some people. They're not going to be pleased with me. They're going to like, because at that age, they're not, are they? Probably about 16 at the time.
Carl Jung will be happy you talking about art. The introverted sensation type, he'll go, that fits. But so we've done his questions. My question is comparing, having looked at, you've looked at MBTI ISFP profiles and ISFJ profiles, and you know about the temperament. So are you an ISFJ and MBTI?
Yeah, I'd say so. It depends where you go. Just because some of them make out that an ISFJ is a lot more traditionalist. It depends who's written them. And whether they think being traditionalist is negative. But the ones that are well written, I'm like, yeah, that's me.
Yeah, that's the thing. I don't call them conservative or traditional. I call them conventional. Whatever is conventional.
Yeah, I'm a pretty conventional kind of girl, but I'm not like some profiles will say ISFJ force that on people, and I don't. Other people can do what they want. I mean, socionics, if I'm NE seeking, why would I be the type to try and force like conventions and stuff like that?
One of the things I think with socionics is they do a dumbed down version of SI. And
Yeah.
so any intelligence they see in the SEI, they attribute to NE and TI. But actually, SI allows SI types to become specialists and to actually have hidden talents and switch on a part of their brain, and where suddenly they can have this amazing talent that it's like, whoa, where did that come from? That's totally out of character. And so there's that. And so what I can say is, with Kurz's temperaments, the SJs, he would get it with laptops. He's going into that. He would say, okay, difference between sensors and intuitives would be, intuitives are abstract in their speech. Sensors are concrete in their speech. And then to get the difference between SJs and SPs, it would be, are you cooperative or are you pragmatic? So the pragmatic types wouldn't care what the conventional opinion was of how you should do something. They just do it the way they want to do it. So that would be like the SPs and the NTs. And whereas SJs and NS they want to do it the conventional way. That would be their first stop. So they're more cooperative. And so I would say that you are a cooperative person, and that will correlate with your FE. And also, I think that the MBTI SJs, the SI types, correlate with the caregivers in socionics, the romance style, very much. Because I get on I like INFPs and ENFPs. I don't get an SE allergy the way I can with the other types, because I describe myself as SE allergic. Right. Don't bring me out in a rush the way SFPs can. Right. So, I don't think there's anything else. We could.
I wanted to ask one question.
Hold on then. Oh yeah, excellent.
Okay. Whenever I have a discussion with other people about being an SEI and having SI, they assume that like an SEI is always relaxed and never feels anxious about anything and never worries about things. And if I ever talk about the fact that I'm quite an anxious person inside and I do worry about things, they say that that's odd and that I shouldn't.
Oh wow!
I might be EII instead of I thought of that.
Ooh, that is.
I'm worrying about the future, but it's like I'll try and explain it as in the future. It's not now, so I don't know what's going to happen, and I'm not good with seeing what's going to happen and any possibilities. If I worry about something, it's like one single thing. Sometimes I'm sure that like tomorrow at work I'm going to mess up with so and so, and it's just that I don't see any other possibilities. But if I have to deal with a problem now and I have to act now, I'm quite calm in that crisis because it's now. So I am calm, but I still worry about things. But they can't seem to understand that's possible. That makes sense.
Well, I think they've got the definition of SI wrong, to be honest. I think it's partly right, and based on the neuroscience, part of it is internal bodily harmony, but a lot of it, SI is really about is the ability to specialize and to learn. And this is why SI types can be really good students. And they're the ones you'll notice at school that can learn stuff really well, and good at the rote memorization and becoming a specialist and be able to do that particular skill really well. And they actually enjoy the routine. So do you enjoy routine?
Yeah, because I know where I am. I know where I stand with it.
Right, there you go. And that is different with, in the way Dario Nardi conceives it, NI NI is more generalist, and he says that NI types find it hard to like burn long-term memory and become specialists. And thinking about polar function, SI, it's not that. I mean, to me, I see SP as SE types don't plan. The SI types plan, but they plan assuming the future is going to be like now. So almost rigid. She's nodding.
And then something happens, and you're like, yeah. I didn't know that was going to happen. I didn't see that coming. Because like you are planning it with now in mind. I don't really think about things that could change and the possibilities, I suppose.
Well, that's excellent. That's excellent. It's excellent because of the notes I made a few days ago. Because I was comparing Socionics SEI with MBTI, ISFJ, and ISFP, and I think they correlate. And so, but most people, but in terms of a vulnerable function, most people have not got the ability to be fantastic about predicting the future. Else, a lot of bookmakers might go out of business. But they're not fantastic. And SE types, the way that Dario Nardi and the Barons and David Kersey conceive them is that their main skill is in a fluid situation, they know what to do. So they're great in a crisis. So, and I'll just say, Sultai, Battlestar Galactica Mark II is a junk most of the time. When there's a crisis, he's good. He's switched on. He knows what he's doing. So they're good, and so they might not want. So unconsciously, they might not want to plan because they like stuff happening and things changing and things being fluid. And so, what was I going to say before SI? Yeah, SI types are specialists. They like routine.
I don't know where this stereotype comes from that we don't feel any form of worry and anxiety there.
Oh,
I don't understand it because it makes me really feel alone.
Well, you know, I think it comes from an overly simplified personality model. That's where I think it comes from, rather than actual. If you talk to them, there's actual.
I think they're just looking at SI types on the surface. On the surface, I just seem quite calm, and when everyone else is upset, I'm the one that's like calm and trying to, especially if someone's had an argument, and I bring everybody back together and mediate sort of thing. But inside, I'm not enjoying it. I'm like, I don't want there to be a crisis. I don't want there to be a conflict. I'm not like in a rush for anything. But I'm just, I can keep calm for the sake of everybody else. But I think people must think, oh, she never feels any kind of worry ever. But I do.
Wow. Well, I think Victor's profile, I'll have a look at that later on, but I think Victor's profile will mention that. I'll have a look at that later on. Secret profile. Can't share it with anyone. I've been sworn to secrecy. But one thing that Dario mentions is SI, the region of the brain called T5 here. It's just below the, just behind the left ear, which it says all SI types, when they're interacting with someone, if say someone frowns, they will feel something negative in their mind, like humiliation or embarrassment or guilt. Even if it's not their fault, they react instinctively to the reaction. I don't know if that's like that for you.
Well, That reminded me of something from when I was really, really young. I got to be in like nursery school, so I've been at 3. And somebody was, the teacher was telling somebody off or something in a way that would make you embarrassed. And I had nothing to do with it, but I started blushing. Like, I felt it. And if, like, the teacher ever, like, had a go at the whole school and said somebody had stolen something, and whoever it is, you need to come forward, I'd blush and probably look like it was me who'd been stealing. But because of the way they were standing and the way they were talking, it would just, I always have a reaction.
Yeah.
And if somebody is snappy, and even though I know they're not snapping at me, I know that I can feel that they're just stressed about probably work or something, I will take it personally, even though I know rationally it's nothing to do with me. I still have this involuntary emotional reaction to it.
Now, what's interesting is ISTJs, even though they are FE vulnerable, they still have, and that actually matches Dario's about that, because they have that region that's active as well. And so I read Victor's profile, is they do feel these things. So if you so the way I would put it is the FE vulnerability in the ISTJ is nowhere near as bad as what it is in the INTJ. Whereas the ISTJ can read other people's emotions and actually be social and be affected by them, and it like affects them. They feel these things, but what they can't do is they can't express themselves very well. That's their problem. Whereas with the INTJs, they can't express themselves very well, and they don't care. So FE sort of split in two between, and with myself, I'm much better at reading the emotions and changing the emotions than somebody else. Whereas you see FE DOMs, especially, I think, is your mother ESFJ?
Yeah.
Is she fantastic at just comforting someone if they're upset?
She is, yeah. She's like, she was supposed to be a mom. You can just tell she's very mothering, even to people who are older than her. So she's good at changing the mood of everyone, not even in a negative way. You can do that quite easily as well.
You should make friends with someone in about a minute.
Huh?
Can she make friends with someone in about a minute?
Yeah, she's very good at talking to people and winning them over, maybe, because she's just really nice and she knows how to speak to people. She's got really good social skills and she's very warm and like a stereotypical friendly, outgoing kind of person.
Yeah, and I read Linda Burns' profile of the ESFJ, and it says that they're thinking about people all the while. And one of the things I'll go back to them about this idea of correlation is that, well, an ISFJ in socionics is probably an ISFJ in MBTI, because Linda Burns has actually put the types in quadras according to cognitive styles. So she's actually she actually came up with the enhancing cognitive style with Chris Montoya, and he put ENTP, INTP, ESFJ, and ISFJ in the same. She actually has the same groupings as the quadras.
So
at least, yeah. And when you look at it, and it's like, oh wow, it's so alpha. They just call it the enhancing style. But the one for the betas is really, to me, it's a bit of a mishmash. Because it's like half of it is like, oh right, this is like the NF INFJ half, and this is like the ESTP hardcore side. It's a little bit weird, that one. But the one with I didn't like with the deltas. It's got productive and authentic. Right. Oh yeah. So all of that matches. Right. because I was shown, because there was this study, I was shown this study by a certain someone that about 100 socionists were asked to match, to go through Kersey profiles and then to see which socionics types they were. But the thing is that those profiles are only really subsets of the temperament theory. You need to know the temperament theory first in order to match them. So it would be much better to actually ask the people on, say, on Kersey's website, and to say, which of these socionics profiles match your types? I think that's the better way of doing it, because Kersey was so much more about temperament and didn't even really care about the profiles, because he just called the profiles role variants within the temperaments. So for him, it was like, well, you're not gonna mix up an ISFJ and an ISFP, because one's a guardian and one's an artisan.
Yeah.
And when he writes the profiles, differentiating, say, the 4 different types of artisans, he's going to leave out what is common to all 3. So, anyhow, I'm digressing. Right. So, is there anything else you want to say, Laura?
No, I think I'm all right.
Right then. So if we stop for the moment. Here we go.